Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today Bard just filed a current report announcing a big acquisition, and I am seeing one potential speed bump that really matters. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. Booz Allen Hamilton is buying a piece of Ultra Electronics for over $700 million, and while this looks like a big move, there is a condition attached that could stop the deal in its tracks. Alright, let's dive into this filing from Booz Allen Hamilton Holding Corporation. They filed what is called a Form 8K, which is a report for significant events that shareholders should know about right away. The main story here is that on the 19th of June 2026, a subsidiary of Booz Allen Hamilton agreed to buy all the ownership in a company called Ultra Electronics Advanced Tactical Systems, Inc., for a hefty $720 million. This is a pretty big deal, and they are calling it the stock purchase. The whole thing is expected to wrap up sometime in the second quarter of Booz Allen's 2027 fiscal year. Now, here is where things get interesting, and it is the part in watching closely. This deal isn't a done deal yet. It is subject to what they call customary closing conditions. The most important one, in my opinion, is making sure no government entity issues an order or passes a law that stops the purchase. Also, they need to get through the waiting period required by the Hart-Scott Rodino Antitrust Improvements Act, which is basically a government review to make sure this purchase doesn't create a monopoly or harm competition. If any of these conditions aren't met, the deal might not happen. This is a classic situation where regulatory approval can be a major hurdle, similar to how some large tech mergers have faced significant delays or even cancellations due to antitrust concerns. Also, there is a deadline. If this whole deal isn't closed by the 19th of December 2026, either Booz Allen or the seller can decide to walk away. That is about a 6-month window from when they announce the agreement. It is a relatively short time frame for such a large transaction, suggesting they are hoping for a smooth process. If they don't hit that date, it could be another sign that things are not going as planned. The report also includes a section on forward-looking statements. This is standard stuff where the company basically says that anything in the report about the future, like their expectations for this deal or their business, might not actually happen. They mention risks and uncertainties, including the possibility that the deal might not close or might not close within the expected timeframe. This is their way of protecting themselves legally, but it also reinforces that this acquisition is not a sure thing. Beyond the acquisition itself, Booz Allen also issued a press release on the 22nd of June, announcing this deal. This is generally meant to let everyone know at the same time. And as usual with these filings, they've attached a bunch of supporting documents. The most important one here is the actual stock purchase agreement itself, filed as Exhibit 2.1. This is where all the nitty-gritty details of the deal are laid out, looking at Booz Allen Hamilton's recent news. It seems the market is reacting to this acquisition. We're seeing headlines about them buying Ultra Mission Solutions for that $720 million deal, but also some analyst reports suggesting the stock might be undervalued. It is a mixed bag of signals right now, a big investment on one hand, and questions about the stock's current price on the other. Given that this deal has major regulatory hurdles and a ticking clock, it is not a slam dunk yet. A comparable situation to watch is when large companies undertake significant acquisitions. Sometimes things get bogged down in antitrust reviews, extending timelines and creating uncertainty. If this deal were to fall apart due to those regulatory conditions, it could have a negative impact on Booz Allen's stock, potentially leading to a short-term dip as investors re-evaluate the company's growth strategy. The biggest risk I'm watching is the regulatory approval process if they don't get the green light or if it takes too long. This $720 million purchase could be off the table, and that would be a significant setback. What I am actually looking for is news on the antitrust review progress in the coming months. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Join our Discord community linked in the description.